Hey, Believers Church. I wanted to give a quick encouragement about giving during this extraordinary time. And I want to do it by reading a portion of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5, verses 38 through 48. And I'm going to read it from the Message translation because it really captures the flavor of what Jesus is saying regarding giving. So here goes, Matthew 5, 38 through 48 in the Message. Here's another old saying that deserves a second look. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Is that going to get us anywhere? Here's what I propose. Don't hit back at all. If someone strikes you, stand there and take it. If someone drags you into court and sues for the shirt off your back, gift wrap your best coat and make a present of it. And if someone takes unfair advantage of you, use the occasion to practice the servant life. No more tit for tat stuff. Live generously. You're familiar with the old written law, love your friend and its unwritten companion, hate your enemy. I'm challenging that. I'm telling you to love your enemies. Let them bring out the best in you, not the worst. When someone gives you a hard time, respond with the energies of prayer, for then you're working out of your true selves, your God-created selves. This is what God does. He gives his best, the sun to warm and the rain to nourish, to everyone, regardless. The good and the bad, the nice and the nasty. If all you do is love the lovable, do you expect a bonus? Anybody can do that. If you simply say hello to those who greet you, do you expect a medal? Any run-of-the-mill sinner does that. In a word, what I'm saying is, grow up. You're kingdom subjects. Now live like it. Live out your God-created identity. Live generously and graciously toward others, the way God lives toward you. You know, one of the most central aspects of our identity when we're baptized in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit is when we're baptized in the name of the Father, that means we're sons and daughters. We're children. And here's what we know about our Father and our identity when we've been baptized into his name. It's that, first of all, our Father takes care of us generously and consistently. We don't ever have to wonder what his intentions for us are. In fact, we don't have to wonder if he knows what we need. He does, and he'll provide it. The second thing we know, not only is our Father generous, but we inherit the family DNA. Generosity is a natural part of our identity because we are sons and daughters of the living God. It's the very nature of God to give. It's in Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. He's a self-giving being. When God says that he loved the world, the first thing he thought of doing when he sees this world that he loves that is broken, he gives his son. He gives his best. So, as I've already said, we're so in extraordinary times that regarding provision, maybe some of the scariest times many of us have ever been in. I got to be honest, my own family's experienced that as we've had some layoffs, in pay reductions we've had to experience ourselves. But I want to tell you that the Smith family's not going to stop giving. We're not going to stop giving away both our provisions in time or in money. Why would we do that? The first reason, because our Father has always taken care of us, and I know he'll do it again. And the other reason is because it's our identity. It's just who we are as sons and daughters of the King. And I remember in one of our leanest times years ago, where Kelly and I weren't exactly sure how we were going to pay our bills. This is years ago, early on in our marriage. And of course, classic story. In the mail comes a check from a family friend that was, to us, very significant at the time. They never would have known that we desperately needed it at that time. But it assured us that Father was taking care of us. But what that's turned into over the 25 years of our marriage is doing the same thing for others at unexpected times. And it's just become fun. It's been almost like a game. When we see a need out there, we get to give toward that need and see the joy of what happens to somebody else when they get the generosity that we got in our time of need. So what I want to encourage you to do during this extraordinary time is, even during this extraordinary time, to continue to give. I'll tell you, I don't care whether you give to Believers Church or to somewhere else. That's not really the point of me saying this. What I'm saying this is for your own spiritual health is to continue to live generously. Why do I ask that? The first thing is because I know your Father's never going to let you down. I heard a story yesterday about one of the men in our congregation who has his own business. He felt led to, just this week, give away some of his services to a family friend in need. What was amazing is he told me within a day, he got a new client who paid him 5 times the amount that he would have received if he had charged his friend. Amazing. So God will never let us down. But the second reason I want you to continue to give is that it's part of our DNA. And we get the opportunity to demonstrate to a frightened world that our Father is generous and He's taking care of us, and He will take care of them if they just let Him. If they just let Him through His Son, Jesus Christ. So again, what I want to say is, don't feel pressure to give to Believers Church or anything like that. But please live out your God-given identity to live generously. We're going to try to do it here at the Smith household, and I'm sure you will as well. It's going to look different for us. We're going to give from what we have. But what we want to do is we want to live out what Jesus said in those words we just read in Matthew 5:38 through 48. We want to live out our God-created identity. Live generously and graciously toward others the way God lives toward us. Love you so much.